Happy holidays, guys. It's Jay, Morning After Kill. I hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving. I hope you guys are stuffed to the max. I hope you guys went to Black Friday and you got some really good deals. Cyber Monday's coming up. Don't forget to check that out. And this is Life Syphon's world. Life Syphon is going up against CrispedSkydiver. He was my unnamed competitor from last round. He originally wanted to drop out of the tournament. I think he was a little bit self-conscious with his world, but once he's seen how well he's done, he's back in it. So we got CrispedSkydiver versus Life Syphon. This is Life Syphon's world. It's amazing, but that's not what I wanted to talk about. What I wanted to talk about was, Fortresscraft and YouTube. It seems that there's not really a lot of Fortresscraft videos out there. I was searching for them, and most of them I seen were by me. They were by Paul. There's a few big machinima ones out there, but they were just really kind of making fun of Fortresscraft. And I was wondering, is it just because it's harder to have a capture card on the Xbox than it is to, run fraps on a PC? Because we see a lot of Minecraft videos, and, I was just wondering why we don't have that type of support from the community in the YouTube. I see a lot of good videos out there. That's pretty cool that there are people out there putting videos out, and, for those of us that, really are trying to get this game out there, I want to thank you guys, because this game is amazing. Most of this game is where my YouTube community comes from. So, this game is just balls to the wall, man. I'm enjoying it. Everybody's enjoying it. And like I said before, we're going to MagFest. Fortresscraft, Projector Games, and myself will be there at MagFest, which is the first week of January. And we're going to be there hanging out. We're going to be showing off Fortresscraft. And I'm pretty sure there might even be a demo of the OnLive there. I'm not sure, but Vera was talking about that in the video the other day. But it's the holidays, man. The holidays. My family doesn't really celebrate the holidays. I don't really get together with my family. My family is crazy. Like, really, seriously, when my family gets together, it usually ends with the cops coming because somebody gets punched the hell out. But like I said, my mother recently called me and she was like, "Oh, I talked to your brother, blah, blah, blah." And to give you guys a backstory, I haven't talked to my brother in like over 7-8 years. Last time I seen him was when the first of his kids was born. Now he's got like 3. And I just never see the guy. I don't personally like the guy. He was in and out of trouble his whole life. I've gotten in my share of trouble, but not even on the level of this guy. I'm going to put this guy on the spot right here because he doesn't watch my YouTube. He doesn't know anything about me. So, this guy, when he was 13 years old, my brother hot-wired a bulldozer and literally drove it around the town, picking up cars with the shovel of the bulldozer and just piling them up and beating the living shit out of them. My brother was like one of the baddest kids you'll ever know. Like, you see these kids that are on Maury that are like, "Fuck you, mom," and just, they slap their mother. Like, no, my brother was a lot worse. When he was arrested for that bulldozer thing, they found like 2 or 3 pipe bombs underneath the fucking bed of the foster home that he was living in. So, yeah. But, that's not what I wanted to talk about. It was reminding me of some funny stories from back in the day that involve my brother, and it's just hilarious, and I think I'm going to share them with you guys today because they are just that funny. My brother had a problem when he was younger, and I think it led to him being bad, actually, because he used to get made fun of a lot for this. So the problem is he used to shit his pants on a daily basis. And when I mean, like, shit his pants, I don't mean, like, just, touching cloth or whatever. I mean, he full-on just released a load in his pants. And he wouldn't do nothing about it. He would just sit there like nobody can actually smell this and just sit there with shit in his pants all day long. He'll be walking around school with shit in his pants all day long. I don't know, he had some type of medical problem, but it's freaking hilarious. So, this one time we were all playing hockey out back, and I think I was about 9 years old, and my brother was probably about like 10, somewhere around there. And we were all just slap-shotting rocks around. The whole parking lot in the back of my house was, full with ice because we had a blizzard that year. And it was amazing. So we went out there with hockey sticks, and instead of the street hockey puck, we were using rocks as pucks. So we were shooting them around. And out the side of my brother's pants, you can see just this big Duke ball the size of like a rock that you would skip across a lake just fall out the side of his pants. And you could tell it's been there for a while because it was nice and compressed and it was really hard looking. And he tried to play it off like he didn't just shit his pants. And he smack shot the, what do you call that? The turd with the hockey stick like it was a rock. Except it hit one of our friends and left like this shit streak right across his pant leg. And he was like, dude, did you just shit and then hit me with your shit right across your pants? Like, what the hell, man? Like, and like, my brother was just completely mortified, and he just like threw his stick down and ran away. And if you know my brother wasn't the type of person that would actually, just run away from somebody making fun of him. But he was just so self-conscious of this that every time somebody mentioned it, he would just run away. And it was like a really funny reoccurring theme throughout my childhood was, there would be random moments where my brother would shit his pants. People would make fun of him, and he'd run away. Another funny time like that, is exactly when we were at the bowling alley. We were all bowling. It used to be really cheap. It was like 50 cents a game, $1 for shoes, and it was like during the day, so it was like summer vacation 1995 or some shit. And Mortal Kombat 2 just came out in the arcades. So naturally, it's after we were done bowling, we would go over and hang out at the Mortal Kombat machine, and there was, I don't know if any of you guys remember how actual arcades used to work, but there were lines waiting for one game because they were that popular and they haven't reached a system yet. The arcades were kind of like where the games came out for movies and then it came out on systems. That's how it used to be done, but it's not done like that so much anymore. But we were all waiting in line for Mortal Kombat. We were playing around, having a good time, and all of a sudden it just smelled like shit. And some dude looked at my brother and he was like, dude, you smell like shit. And my brother was like, nah, I just farted, whatever, blah, blah. And the guy was like, oh, alright, whatever. So, like, 3 or 4 matches go on. It's probably like 10 to 15 minutes in Mortal Kombat time. And the guy just looks back over. He's like, dude, you still smell like shit. And like everybody in line starts laughing. So they all start coming over and sniffing my brother. And they're like, dude, this guy smells like shit. He shit his pants, right? So, completely mortified once again. My brother stands up and just, because he was sitting down, he stands up out of the chair next to the Mortal Kombat machine and just hightails it out. Now, he just took off running. And right next to this bowling alley, there is like a hill and like a highway and then another hill and the apartment complex where my cousin lived. And that's where we were staying for the weekend because we were playing with our, cousin. So he hightails it out of the bowling alley and just completely runs across the little highway, little street, main street, down the fucking hill, and gone. Like, he's my brother's really fast. He's really tall. So the picture, like, this is, my brother was probably like 6 foot back then. Now he's like 6'5", but he was like 6 foot back then, real tall and skinny, and just, gone. Just completely across the thing in like a matter of seconds. And we were looking for him. And when we got outside the bowling alley, we looked, we can actually follow little trails of like shit pebbles that were falling out of his pants. And it's just freaking hilarious because, like, I mean, you could follow them all the way back to the apartment to where we went. And it's just hilarious thinking about back to my childhood that, I was actually, it seemed disgusting at the time. Like, I was embarrassed. I'm like, oh my god, my brother, he shits his pants. People are gonna laugh. People are gonna make fun of me. But no, it was actually funner making fun of him instead of me being embarrassed by it. So we all had a good time with it. And it just completely reminded me when my mother called and said, oh, your brother called and he wanted to speak to you. And I was like, oh, wow, I haven't talked to the guy in so long. And I started thinking back of these memories that I have. And I'm like, I had a fucked up childhood. Like, I'm not even going to lie. Like, there's some things in my childhood just don't make sense. Like, I was just thinking back, there's stupid shit that's happened in my childhood that just are hilarious, and I tell these people stories about them, and nobody really believes me. Like, I'll tell you a story right now about when. Alright, to let you guys know, if you guys play Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, you'll know that there's always that one friend that you call the Predator missile magnet, because no matter where they are, the Predator missile is going to hit them. Now, see, me growing up, I was the car magnet. It was like a weekly occurrence for one summer that I got hit by a car. Like, it just happens. Like, I don't know why it happens to me. It's like, usually I'm obeying the crosswalk signs, I'm riding my bike on the sidewalk, and something stupid happens that just ends up with me getting completely mashed by a car. So, this one day, me and my friends, we were all hanging out, and we wanted to go swimming. It was like 110 degrees. I was probably like 16 at the time. And my little cousin, she was probably like 14. She had a pool. But she lived probably about a mile and a half away. Now, it wasn't a far mile and a half, because that's a mile and a half by like road terms. So we could take like all these shortcuts through the back roads and through the back, there's like this park that we could cut through on our bikes. So, I mean, we were thinking like, yeah, we could get there in probably like 20 minutes. So we all load up our bikes, we get our backpacks with our swim trunks in it, and, our suntan lotion, and at this time, yeah, I was smoking, I was a bad kid, and we went and we stole a few cigarettes off my friend's mom out of her purse. Now, the reason why I tell you about the cigarettes is because the cigarettes happen to be the first mash that I get on this bike, alright, so we're riding, and we're no more than 5 minutes into this bike ride. Remember this, 5 minutes on a 20-minute ride. So, I'm riding, and I'm like, yo, toss me one of those cigarettes. So he does, he hands it to me, and I'm riding with no hands on the handlebars. So I'm sitting there with my left hand covering the lighter, my right hand flicking the lighter, trying to light this cigarette while I'm riding my bike. And I'm not paying attention to what's going on. And out of nowhere, boom! Mercedes just comes out of nowhere, and I go over the hood, roll over the windshield, up to the roof, and down the back, and boom, completely done. I had like a little cut on the top of my forehead. I didn't really get that messed up. I just kind of rolled it out, and I was lucky. I was like, all right. So I picked up my bike, and we head back off. I lit my cigarette before I got back onto the bike this time. So we're just riding, we're cruising, and my buddy, see, this is why smoking is bad, because now that I look back to it, it was all this cigarette's fault. So my buddy's like, yo, let me hit some of that. And this cigarette's still lit, so it's within another 5 minutes of this. So I turn around and I pass it to him while I was still riding the bike, and I turn around and boom! Right in my face is one of those boxes on the side of the telephone, not the telephone poles, but the traffic lights, where you push it and you click the button a bunch of times, and it has a big box where you're trying to get the light to change. I didn't even see this thing, and I turn around, and boom! I smash my face on this damn thing, alright? So here I am with a cut on the top left-hand side of mine. Now I have what appears to be an egg forming on the top of my forehead. And I'm like, dude, that fucking hurt. And my buddy's looking at me, he's like, you're all fucked up, bro, blah, blah, blah. And it's hilarious. So I'm like, you know what? We're only like 10 minutes away from my cousin's house. We'll get there. I put an ice pack on my head, and then we'll go swimming and have a good time. And he's like, yeah, that sounds fucking awesome. So I literally get no further than around the corner from where I was, and it's pretty much around the corner from my cousin's house. So I'm riding, and he's riding next to me, and he looks, and he can see it coming, because everybody, if you were standing there, you would have seen this coming too. So he, like, slides his bike, not slides it, but kind of merges all the way across to the other side of the street, and he's watching what's going on, and you can see my front wheel. I don't know if you guys ever lost your balance on a bike, but you can see the front wheel wobble back and forth, and it's wobbling, and it's going crazy, and I'm like, oh, I'm trying to keep the bike steady, you know, and I'm doing a really good job of keeping it steady. I can't even get to this part without even laughing. It's just, and then the freaking bolt on the front of the where the bike was. I guess my bike took so much damage that day. I see the bolt go, pew, gone. My tire goes riding straight down the street. Like, I'm sitting there basically riding a wheelie for like the first 3 feet before I realize that my bike tire is flying down the street ahead of me. My friend starts laughing his ass off because he sees it coming. And the bike forks just dig into the concrete and I go head over heels over this bike, and I basically slide about 20 feet on the ground on my face. So by the time we get to my cousin's house, I'm carrying pieces of my bike with a knot on the right side of my head. I got a cut on the left side of my head, and the whole right side of my face is covered with road rash, and it looked like ground beef. It was a terrible experience. My aunt was like, "Oh my God, what the hell happened to you?" And the moral of the story is, I was so fucked up by the time that I got to my cousin's house that my aunt put my bike in the back of her pickup truck and took me home, because there's no way I was going swimming. I had like half of a concussion, and my face was all road rashed up and scabbed up, and it was terrible. So, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. This is the tournament that's still going on. I wanted to give you guys some funny stories from back in my holiday experiences. So this is Jay, More Than Afterkill. You know, rate, comment, subscribe. But more importantly, you know, you guys enjoy your holiday weekend. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your turkey. And I'll see you guys later.